Welcome back to day 14 of my Go High Level build series. Again, my name is Gina, and for today's video, I'm not building anything new. Instead, I'm walking through the automation I already set up and explain how the full flows works from start to finish. So this is how I review automations to make sure leads moves correctly from capture to nurture and eventually toward booking. Let me just, all right. So here in Go High Level, this is the main workflow that handles new lead. I usually keep the core workflow for the primary journey. So instead of spreading logic across multiple automations before I check anything else, I always confirm that the workflow is active and clearly named. And if this part isn't clean, it's very easy to miss issue later on. So let's go to the trigger. So this is one of the sample workflow I created. So everything starts with a clear trigger. So in this case, the trigger is a form submission. I prefer form-based trigger because they're predictable and much easier to troubleshoot. If the trigger isn't clear or reliable, the rest of the automation won't matter no matter how well it's built. And then next to it is the tagging. Alright, so after the trigger fires, the first thing I check is tagging and pipeline movement. Tags helps with segmentation and future automation logic, while pipeline stages make the lead visible for tracking and reporting. These steps ensures that every lead is immediately organized inside the CRM. So this is where the nurture starts. Instead of forcing a booking immediately, I'll let email do the warming first. Here, I always confirms that the correct campaigns is attached and it starts at the right time. So this helps make sure leads receive the intended messages in the correct order. So timing is very important in automation. So I check the wait steps to make sure messages aren't sent too fast or too late. So this avoids overwhelming leads and keep the communication feeling natural instead of rush. I also include an internal notification. So for another example of the automation is here. For the internal notification, these help teams stay aware of the leads or important actions without manually checking the CRM. So this step is optional, but it's very helpful from the operations perfect perspective. So after reviewing the workflow, I always test with a real submission. I check the contact leads or I check if the contact was created correctly, if the tag was applied, if the pipeline updated, and if the campaign started as expected. So testing confirms that everything works the way it should be in real scenario. So I had it tested already in my previous videos, like for example, the tagging of warm lead automatically. So that was discussed on some of the previous video. So yeah, this is how I review Go High Level automations from the operations perspective. I focus on a clean triggers, clear logic, and reliable movement through the system. So once this foundation is solid, it becomes much easier to layer more advanced automations later. Thank you for watching.